By the way,
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the How Helping Others Win. That's the main purpose of this group. This morning, we have Mona King that's going to be speaking, and she's going to introduce herself in a moment. But what I want to say about her is that we're always interested in learning more about European design, European stuff, because we know that their stuff is usually good quality.
yeah, thank
So, say no more, Dave. I'm going to turn it over to Mona so she can introduce herself and then take it over from here. Mona, come on
By the
up.
way, just quickly, the link to the slides is in the chat.
Awesome.
I just share the slides now. Hold on. Hmm. So could you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
I just introduced myself quickly. So my name's Mona from Larkin Creative Design Studio. I do branding, graphic design, and web design. So I've been in the UK design industry for nearly 17 years. For the first 7 years, I worked for other London agencies, and I've been on my own for nearly 10 years. And I really like to make my business more international. That's why I'm trying to expand my network in North America. So it's my pleasure to give this talk today. And the title is Six Simple and Creative Web Design Ideas. Let me make it full screen. Is it okay? Could you see that full
Yep.
screen? Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. The reason why decided to create this title to speak about this subject, because the question is, do you need creativity? Because sometimes I meet the other business owners, they think they are professional people. For instance, they provide professional services like attorneys, accountants, or financial advisors. They think they are professional, so they believe that they only need something very simple, very corporate style, and they are quite reluctant to creativity. But personally, I don't agree at all. Because in my opinion, simplicity, corporate style, and creativity, they don't conflict with each other at all. So you can make your website or designs very creative, but simple and corporate at the same time. It depends on how you work on the magic about the design. So basically, in my opinion, if your website or branding is not creative enough, how could you stand out and how could your target audience notice you? Because exposure is all very important to us. That's why today I like to introduce six very simple but creative ideas to improve your website, to make your website stand out. And number one, dark mode. It means dark background color or black background color. Why is it good? Because it's easier on the eyes. Dark mode or dark background color reduces glare. It produces less glare, so it's better for your eyes. Also, if you are in the IT industry, for instance, nowadays AI is very trendy. So if you do something like IT, telecom, or AI, dark mode will really suit your business because it makes your website more stylish, modern, professional, futuristic, and high tech. And also dark mode is great to work on with some stronger contrast. For instance, very strong contrast colors, images. And don't worry, I'm going to show you the examples because I know it sounds quite confusing. As, as you can see the screenshot here. So that is from the website of an AI business. As you can see, the text and the image are mainly white or lighter color or a lighter color scheme. So the text, the image, the content really pop out on darker background. This is my own work. Hold on, I need to adjust the speed. Sorry, I'm not very good with the this. Oh, I'm not very good with the Google Drive, so long to adjust the speed. So this is my own work for a high-end gym in central London. As you can see, I use black background and those kind of lighter white color, white text title, and bright color call to actions or the icons or some of the titles. They really pop out. So you can use this kind of high contrast on dark mode, on dark background to highlight some important content. Number two, micro interactions. You can refer to micro animations as well. So, for instance, if you are playing around on the website, if you are hover with your mouse cursor or just use your finger to swipe on the mobile screen, so you can see the hover effects or scrolling effects come with your movement. So this kind of micro interactions or animations can create a better user experience because the users feel, when I'm moving around my mouse cursor or my finger, or when I'm scrolling down the web page, I can see the micro interactions moving. I can see those kind of animations come with my movement. So they feel more interactive and engaged. And this kind of interactions make the website more intuitive and human as well. And users feel they are having more fun because they feel that they are part of your story, part of the game. So that is the example here. I have to make this slower first. Sorry. As you can see, when you scroll down this web page, you can see the images and the titles or text. They are moving up and down slightly. So all these animations come with your movement, so it's more interactive. And the next one is come from my own web page. It's my own service page on my website. As you can see, when you are scrolling down, you can see the images rotating or zooming or zoom out. Again, it all comes with the movement. So the user experience is definitely much better. And design idea number three, sustainable websites. Basically, eco-friendly websites. It's all about how to improve your website speeds. So if you can improve your website speeds and reduce the loading time, if your website is quicker to run, it uses less electricity, so it's more eco-friendly. It's better for the environment. Also, nowadays, website speeds are a very important part of Google. Google loves it if your website speeds can be improved. So you can rank higher in the search engine results. You can improve your SEO as well. How to make sustainable, eco-friendly websites. Basically, it's very, very simple. You just need to use very clean layout, leave plenty of white space, use very simple navigation. So navigation is the menu bar. And also I encourage my clients or other people to use illustrations because illustrations are a lot quicker to load than images because they are more simple, so they have less megapixels. And nowadays you can use AI to generate the illustrations, but I prefer to use stock illustration sites because I'm not very good with giving instructions on AI. So sometimes if you search on the keywords in these illustration stock websites, it's easier for me. Of course, you can still use images like the photos of your products, but remember you got to optimize the images. What does it mean? It means that you got to reduce the image sizes, you got to condense the image sizes. Personally, I use Photoshop myself, but Photoshop is not cheap. No worries, I'm going to recommend some of the online platforms to help you to optimize the images. As you can see, that's the example of an eco-friendly website. They leave plenty of white space. very simple illustrations. The whole layout is very simple. So the simple layout reduces the loading time. It's more eco-friendly, and Google loves it too. So those three are the websites or tools for optimizing images. I don't use those myself, but I reckon they probably give you certain credits per month. Then you will have to pay for a subscription fee. And number four, minimalist layout. It means very, very simple layout. So this kind of layouts may not be perfect, but they are super authentic, very real. Especially nowadays, everything is all about AI, so people love that authenticity. So you got to go through the content on your web page or website to eliminate what are not necessary. Only keep the core content, the core messages that you like to deliver, you want your users to notice. So it's all about minimizing the distractions. Let me show you the examples. This one here. Got to reduce the speed again. So that is a photographer's website. As you can see, super simple. Just plenty of white space, white background, and loads of images. Because they want you to focus on their photography work. And the photos are all black and white. So, but I quite like the way they display the photos. It's unbalanced. So it's simple, authentic, but quite creative. And it's from a very famous brand, Muji. I love this brand. Again, this website is super simple. Just white background, plenty of white space, and a lot of photos because they want you to focus on their products.
Sorry, Mona,
Oh,
unmute yourself. I just mute you by mistake. Sorry.
oh, I see. So where should I go back and
No, no. I think we
which
caught
class
it.
here?
You were only muted for a second.
Oh, I see. So let's go ahead to number five, color trends. Today I'm going to introduce two of the color trends. Number one is high contrast color scheme. So I talk about this briefly when I talk about dark mode. So high contrast color scheme, for instance, neon colors or super bright colors. So they give your website a more playful and retro atmosphere. So it's like 50s or 60s retro. And you can make the website very unique, nostalgic as well. And also, high contrast colors are great to highlight some key content. For instance, if you like to highlight certain titles, sentences, paragraphs, or call to action buttons, high contrast color scheme is great. And it goes very well with dark mode, like I mentioned briefly earlier. Let me show you the examples. So the first example here is a website of a language school. As you can see, they use neon color or bright color illustration here. And an orange call to action button here on top of a darker background. So I quite like this kind of color combination. And I'm not a big fan of this design. I'm not sure it's nice. It looks a bit cheap to me, but I'm just giving you an idea on how to work on neon color scheme or bright color scheme. So if you are not super confident on using colors, I mean, neon color scheme is not easy to use. It's not easy to combine. So I suggest if you really want to use neon color scheme, but you are not super super confident or comfortable, I suggest that you can take white or black background and don't overuse neon colors or bright colors. Just use a few of them to highlight some titles or call to action buttons. And the second color scheme, soothing, earthy color scheme, basically planet-based colors. For planet-based colors, the colors you can see in our natural environment, for instance, blue for the sky, gray for the raining sky, white for the clouds, red for the flowers, yellow for the flowers as well, and green for the grass or the lakes. Basically, this kind of planet-based colors can give your website a warm, trustworthy atmosphere, and it brings a calming nature as well. And this kind of color scheme is much easier to use than the previous one because planet-based colors are easy to blend with some boring corporate colors. For instance, the corporate colors like black, dark gray, or navy blue, they can work very well with soothing, earthy color scheme. And that is the example here. So that's the website of a bike store. They use some planet-based colors here, like yellow, light blue, or light green, because they want you to feel that their products are trustworthy. Because if you are buying a bike, you got to buy from a trustworthy company. And that's from another web design agency. So they use earthy colors as well, like yellow for the flowers, blue call to action button here, blue for the blue sky, and gray for the rainy day, with the word trust here. It's very straightforward. They want you to feel that they are trustworthy. And there are a couple of resources on how to use how to use the website colors. So the first one is the color theory. The second one is how to choose your brand colors. The second one is a very short blog written by myself. It's on my blog as well. I'm going to go through this together later. So, and you can use, of course, you can use AI or ChatGPT to give you color combination ideas. But when people ask you, why did you choose your website colors? You need to be able to tell the story. So just spend a bit time doing a bit research on yourself. And the final one, test only hero. May I ask what hero is? Can anyone answer me? So what is hero on the website? Okay, so hero is the banner on top of each web page. So test only hero is quite straightforward. So you only use test on your hero banner image. And you got to use oversized bold typography. And if you like to deliver a very strong message, for instance, it can be your slogan or strapline. You can include that sentence on that test only hero. So test only hero gives your website a very clean and clear, trendy layout style. Remember, less is more. So this kind of super simple test only hero is very easy to work with the design. What does it mean? For instance, if you are not super confident on playing around with the images, or if you are struggling to find the right image for your hero, you can use test only hero because it's text only, no image or illustrations are involved. So it's quicker to load. If it's quicker to load, like I mentioned earlier, it's more sustainable, eco-friendly, and of course, Google loves it. And that's from another digital agency. So they use very bold and big title here for their hero image. Digital that works. So that's from another design agency. So they use a few words to describe their business on their text only hero. Okay, thank you very much. Let's say, I'd like to go through quickly about how to choose your brand colors, website colors. So basically, it's a very simple tip. You just pick a photo that you like. It doesn't necessarily need to be relevant to your industry or business, as long as you like the overall colors of that photo. For instance, I use the photo of my cat as an example. You pick a few colors from that photo you like. Again, I use Photoshop myself, but if you Google, there are some online color pickers. They are normally free to use. And I suggest, so for instance, I pick 5 colors here. And amongst those 5 colors, I suggest that you can pick 2 or 3 primary colors. So you can use primary colors on your logo. And if you are designing something very simple, for instance, business card or LinkedIn cover, you can just use your primary colors to keep things simple. So apart from primary colors, you can pick another 2 to 3 secondary colors. Basically, secondary colors are there to support your design layout. For instance, for something bigger like the websites, you can use another 2 or 3 secondary colors for the tests, for the backgrounds to make them layout more interesting and creative. Of course, if you are not super confident on using colors, you don't need to use secondary colors. You can just skip secondary colors. Just stick with your 2 or 3 primary colors, like I mentioned. Anyway, I provided the link in the chat already. Okay.
And that's
Maybe
the
just
I
end
could
of your
hear you.
presentation?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
yeah. So if you a tip is it's amazing in regards to what
Yeah.
Mona mentioned about colors, and just a
Yeah.
tip, if you go to Canva
Yeah.
and you upload a graphic, it suggests a color theme for your
Oh, I
brand colors,
see.
very
Yeah.
similar to.
Yeah. Thank you for the tip.
Canva can help. All right, so Mona, are you ready for questions? Can we
Yeah,
open up for
sure.
that?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, and comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have questions and comment for Mona. She's ready for you.
Mona, first you had me at make it fun. I thought that was great. And I love the tips. But I noticed that you're talking about using more vibrant colors, but the picture that you chose was very subtle colors.
Mhm.
So yeah, I need a little, this is not my world, so I need a little clarification on that.
Yeah. For instance, could you tell me which example or all of them?
Well, you were talking about using
Yeah, yeah,
vibrant.
I know what you mean, but could you give me the examples? So which examples you think the colors are quite subtle?
In the picture with your cat.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's a difference. So I move on with from that bright color or vibrant colors already. But basically, it's a different subject. 'Cause any other questions?
Go
Because
ahead,
normally,
Yeah,
Jerry.
I had a question about can you clarify what you meant by the banner in your sixth step? Like you're talking about the text only
yeah,
hero. I'm not clear on what you meant by
yeah, sure. Let
what you
me
got to work with.
share the. Could I share the screen again? So let me show you the example. So for instance, that is the blog page on my website. As you can see, that banner on top of this page is called Hero.
Where it has your logo.
Logos, no, below my logo,
Oh,
this banner here is called Hero. They are normally the first thing you see on the website, on the web page, yeah, below the logo, normally.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So what I meant about test only hero. So instead of that image, you can use test there.
Oh, okay.
Very bold and big typography.
Okay.
That
For
answer
instance,
your question, Joe?
Yeah. I see what I got to work on there.
Yeah.
The other question I had actually was illustration versus images. I don't know. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. Are they not the same thing? Illustration and images?
Oh, images are more complicated, I think. Oh, images, for instance, your photos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but those aren't illustrations. Those are images. Like what I get off of like a
yeah,
stock photos and that.
yeah.
And
I
So
think
then
illustration would be like something that you draw,
yeah,
some kind of art.
yeah. But some art can be more complicated as well. Because, for instance, some AI generated art, they are not that simple. They are illustrations, but they are more like images, more complicated and more megapixels. Yeah,
no, because sometimes if I'm looking for something to email,
yeah,
and it was I don't know like a graphic, and the company that put it together was illustrating different you know different facts. They had a
yeah.
graph, but then I actually copy that illustration. Is that an illustration or is that an image? When I pull it off of the web. It would-
Yeah. So I think what I refer to illustrations here are something very simple. Let me see if I can find examples here.
I think she's referring to images as that photo, like a photo, the photo of the cat,
Yeah,
that type of
yeah.
thing. And an illustration would be a smaller
Oh,
file and
yeah,
easier to upload and faster.
yeah,
They're normally flat in color. There's not
yeah,
too much definition.
yeah,
Right. Okay.
So that makes it light to load.
yeah,
Oh. Okay.
yeah, like this.
Right, those would be illustrations.
Of course, you can
Those are
use
illustrations. When
static.
there's animation, does that make it slower to upload? Because I
Uh,
saw some of those illustrations had like animation in it, right?
yeah. Well, you don't need to use animations. Just I can't think straight about another illustration stocks
Yeah.
website. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, let
okay.
me go quickly for you.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
So I'm gonna move to JR. I think
Yeah.
his hand has been up. JR, can you come on the
Okay.
mic?
Yes, I had one question that was on to ask. So I'm asking that I heard she said that you can use every color, and I have a suggestion that which every color you would like us to use, like when you're trying to make an website.
Sorry, could you? So Dave, could you hear him? I can't hear very clearly.
A little
No.
bit.
So I say that you say
Yeah.
we can use every color. What kind every color you will suggest? Like if you are trying to make a website, will be great as good color that we can use.
I think probably planet-based colors because they are
Planet.
easier to use. Yeah, they
Okay.
are easier to blend into any style.
And other question that I had is that what type of font that is best standard that we can use to do that?
Font, do you mean typography?
Like a font to use.
The font, right? Personally, I prefer sans serif fonts. For
Okay.
instance, Montserrat, Verdana, or Arial.
Okay. Thank you.
That answer your question, JR?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. All
Dave,
right.
the only thing I would say is that colors are very interesting, right? For the kind
Yeah.
of brand, and the people have very subjective things. But if you see a color you like on another website, anywhere you like on another website,
Yeah.
every color you see on the web has what they call a hexadecimal number. In other words, it has a number, a code that's associated with that number. So if you were to give that number to any designer, they could find that code.
Yeah, I
Now, there are
can.
ways you can do that from adding a little extension to your browser. But if all that's beyond you, all you got to
Yeah.
do is capture a screen capture, capture a
Yeah.
picture of the screen with that color on it, send it to Mona, and she will be able to extract the color of that blue or that green or purple or whatever it is. She will be able to extract that exact code for that exact color.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting because I mean during the pandemic, one of my clients they decided to leave me and go to their VA for their designs and branding because VAs are normally cheaper than designers. And their VAs have no idea how to extract the colors.
Mm-hmm.
So the client asked me for the brand guidelines, but I didn't design their initial branding or logo. Someone else did. So I told the client, sorry, I don't have the brand guidelines, and the client was pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just explained to their VA. Their VA didn't understand. So I got to extract those colors and send the VA those hex codes. And I didn't charge because they were with
Yeah.
me for many years, the client. Yeah.
I haven't done this, but presumably you could direct, ChatGPT or Copilot to the
Yeah.
page of a website and say, give me the hexadecimal number for that particular blue. It'd be interesting to see if it would
Yeah.
do it. I've never tried that.
Yeah, you can do it.
Mm.
But normally I like to verify myself as well because
Yeah.
ChatGPT makes mistakes sometimes.
Yeah.
So color seems to be important for websites, right? To get the
Yeah.
exact colors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sadiq has his hand up, Dave.
Mona, pick Sadiq, and then Amy.
Mona, hi. Just for the benefit of the audience,
Yeah.
there's so many options these days to make websites, do it yourself,
Yeah.
very cheap freelancers.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference between those kind of websites and something that's well thought of with a creative angle, with someone like yourself providing, can you maybe just share a few things? Why would someone want to come to you compared to those other cheaper options?
Yes,
She
for
get
instance,
that question sometime and she gets real upset. I
no,
was reading one of her LinkedIn posts, so I
no, I
want to
wasn't
hear the
upset
answer for
at
this.
all. Yeah, I wasn't upset at all. Because I mean, if you read through the LinkedIn posts, you can't see my face or emotions. Yeah, anyway, I think because in my industry, I think trust is very important. If you go cheaply, there's nothing wrong with it because everyone has a different budget. But if you go cheaply, they probably won't spend too much time with you. They probably use the same template or the same business model for everyone.
How important are colors and the branding in getting a website out there?
I think it's quite important, but I mean, you got to be consistent. For instance, your branding colors got to be consistent, your website colors. So that's why I talk about the how to pick your colors, like 3 primary colors for your logo and the website, and you can pick another 2 secondary colors for your website. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, so move to Amy.
Good morning. I'm not in my car today, so this is great. I'm gonna love
Yeah.
Mona. Mona, I came in late, so thank you for what I did see.
You're welcome.
I was also going to ask the same questions as Sadiq, so good question. On top of that, what do you think about, so I like to have control of what I do, just because I've experienced what
Yeah,
happens when you don't.
yeah,
So what I love to do is to really create the foundation of what I'm doing
yeah,
and kind of get it to a state of I'm done and now it needs a polish. It needs to be now uplifted, but it has me as the source, similar to how I work with AI.
yeah,
How would you recommend working with somebody like you, where I'm
yeah,
looking at time, money, also accuracy in terms of aligned to my vision. I'm curious how there might be some synergies of maybe using a little bit of AI to help me get to
Yeah.
where I want and then bringing in human. Do you work with people like that? Does that
Yes.
make sense, my question?
Yes. But I
Okay.
mean, because everyone is using AI now, but my my view is that if you use AI, you still need to have certain understanding about the subject, about what
Of
you are
course.
doing. For instance,
Yeah.
I recently worked with a client because they use AI to generate 5 or 6 web design proposals, and they are in English, but I could hardly understand anything from those proposals because
Correct.
probably the client doesn't really understand web design that much.
So I understand web
Probably,
design. I
yeah,
understand marketing.
yeah,
I understand. So
yeah,
I'm not at a foundation basic level, but I also know I'm not at your level.
yeah,
So that's where I'm like, I know my contributions to what I'm creating is valuable. So I don't want to exclude my work in what I can create.
yeah.
So it's like where I create my sandcastle and then I go to somebody like you and say, "Hey Mona, can you make it better?" Do you do type of work like that where I
Yes,
want
I
you to stay within the framework that I had created?
yes, I do. So, for
Okay.
instance, if you understand what you do and if you have some understanding about web design, you can use AI, for instance, to generate the color scheme, the colors you should use for the website, to
Okay.
generate some images you like to work on the website, you like to use on the website, and also to generate some web design proposals and content like copy and pass the
Okay.
designer. But I will be a bit more careful to use AI to generate an actual website. I don't know in the future, but now AI for websites are not there yet. So some AI generated websites, their codes probably all tangled up. So it's harder for the designers to tidy up the AI generated websites.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to know
yeah, sure.
because I understand what it's like to come into somebody else's
Yeah,
work. It's like, here, Mona, I painted this canvas, fix it. It's my art. So that's where I'm trying to wonder, like, I'm trying to figure out, is there a balance? Because I
yeah,
prefer human talent over
yeah,
technical, but
yeah, same, yeah,
I also appreciate my talent. So it's like, how do we find that balance?
yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was
There's
helpful.
something you can use AI as well. For instance, you can use AI to generate like markups, like the
Mm.
website structure or rough
Oh,
website layout or wireframe. Yeah.
okay. That's it.
I will be
Oh,
very careful to generate a website from AI. Yeah.
okay. I love that. So stick with the planning, the
Yeah.
wireframing, modeling it out,
Yeah.
and then go to experts.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Thank
my
you.
main. Yeah.
Perfect. That's
You're
perfect.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I think you had one satisfied customer there. So let's get somebody else on the screen. Who else have a question or comment? And Karen, you're a little bit too quiet in the background. Oh, absolutely, Amy. We love your questions. If you have more, shout them out. And Sadiq is a designer. Cliff was a designer as well. So we have 3 designers in the room. I
Yeah.
know Amy is a designer, so 4 designers in the room, and Karen somewhat because she lay out books, and it
Yeah.
requires some of the same skills.
She's a designer as well.
Right. That's why we need to
I,
hear more from her. Where's she anyway? Is she here? Where is she? There she is. Karen? She must not be hearing us or something. Because she's quiet. All right, Mona, tell us your contact information, how we can get a hold of you.
I type in the chat.
And you can say it while you're typing
I'm,
it,
a,
so
I,
the AI will pick it up.
I'm on LinkedIn as well, but I'm not very responsive to my LinkedIn messages. Because I try not to spend too much time on LinkedIn.
Okay, I get you.
I prefer emails.
You do prefer emails. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Go ahead, Karen.
No, I was just going to say I was off for a few minutes, so I don't know what I missed, but I just wanted to thank you, Mona,
You're
for
welcome.
the presentation.
Oh, that's why we weren't hearing from her because she was off for a few minutes.
Just for the benefit of the audiences who will listen to this presentation later,
Yeah.
Mona can be contacted at contact@monaking.co.uk, and her website is monaking.co.uk.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Thank you.
Sadiq. So that's where you are located. Good. And any important notes that you want to leave with us before we go back in the question period? Because I'm going to turn off the video now. So if there's anything you want to do at the wrap up, then let us know. I know you're looking for more customer, more client in the North America, being Canada, United States,
Yeah.
and your designs are usually clean. In
Yeah.
general, they're not complicated to make it simpler
Yeah.
for the website to move around and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
So that much I learned today, but is there anything else you want to add in a quick little summary so we can shut down the video?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't pay attention because I got a client email. I was checking.
All right. She's
Okay.
doing two things at the same time. So
I have a
Sorry.
question. Can I ask?
Yeah.
I have another question. Dave, you said I could, so I will.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Um, I'm curious for the folks who are in marketing,
Yeah.
web design, all the functions that were really, really necessary pre-AI. I'm curious to know what type of client requests are you getting now? Like I'm curious to see the type of work that is being needed in
Yeah.
this space. Because I think this is where a lot of people are trying to say, oh, it's cheaper this path.
Yeah.
And I think people don't really understand. And I see that I come from human resources. So
Yeah.
I see it in the workforce where there's a lot of job cuts right now, cutting jobs without truly understanding the functionality of what they're cutting. And
Yeah.
so I'm curious to understand from entrepreneur perspective, and for anybody who does this type of work, what are you seeing in terms of your client requests? I'm really curious to see what you're getting now.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of my clients they tried AI on their own.
Yeah.
I noticed nowadays, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. In the future, probably AI will replace all of us. But at the moment, for web design or branding, what AI can do is still quite limited. Yeah, just from my understanding, I think most of creative people agree with me, but AI developers or experts, they probably have different opinions. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have different opinions. I'm watching the workforce.
Yeah.
I'm watching entry level jobs disappear,
Yeah.
and everything's changing. And so I'm curious from the consultancy view because I feel like it's a different lane, but very
Yeah.
similar at the same time. I see a lot from creatives who are losing opportunities, and
Yeah.
part of my question is that will help me also understand when I'm talking to other entrepreneurs who need services like yours, how I can help guide them to be like, well, humans do this,
Mhm.
right? And I think that's a really important piece.
Yeah.
And that's the job security that we all need
Yeah.
in the growth of AI. Like it affects all of us, AI, especially entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So give me some tips how I can promote you as a human.
Well, because I mean, I'm quite lucky because I'm quite experienced. I got 16 years, nearly 17 years now,
Okay.
experience in the UK design industry. So, of course, I try to play around with AI on my own. But in terms of branding and design, because I'm quite experienced, so a lot of times it's quicker to do things manually. Because you probably everyone's different, but I'm not super great in terms of giving instructions on AI. So sometimes I probably spend hours playing around with AI and I don't get the results I like.
Yeah, and I would say that's what I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs is a
Yeah,
lot of time wasted, a lot of money wasted on
yeah,
solutions that don't work. And so that's where it's really like I love to connect people and I love to say, well, AI is great. Yeah, Strawberry does a full website for you. However, what you might be missing is, and so that's where I'm trying to understand. And Sadiq, if you have an answer as well, I'm curious to know what is that human factor? Because all of us have to know this piece. We all need to know what makes us special compared to our competitor over there, AI. And so that's what I want to know from the marketing piece.
See,
What can humans do? Yeah.
AI can be used as a tool. In order to use the tool effectively, you need to be well experienced, like someone like Mona, right?
Yeah.
If you don't understand what you're doing and just try and feed something random, you're going to get something random.
yeah,
Uh, Experienced professionals can use and leverage AI to do certain tasks in ways that would have normally taken a long time, right? So it can, if it's used effectively, then yes, it can help one out. It can help
Yeah.
designers like Mona and myself out, and even Cliff and anyone else. It does take time, so you have to be careful on how not to waste time, and there has to be some learning curve as well that you spend in order to train the AI model so that it gives you the desired output. And AI will learn based on the repetitive and instructions that you give. All right. And so eventually, you have that option of keeping AI, like say services like ChatGPT to make it private. So your prompts will be only for you. It won't be for the
Yeah.
public. If you want to serve the greater good and others, then you can switch it. I mean, just have the regular mode where your prompts could be used by others or the learning system. But yeah, it will be a long while, and specialists who have experience like Mona, other well experienced designers have that experience and that sense and feel and touch for doing some, giving exactly what your brand needs. And that cannot be at the moment,
Duplicated.
replaced by AI, because they're not only, you use all the senses. It's not
There we go.
just the visual, you have a lot more to it. All right. So,
And I think you just hit it on the nail. Like I've been feeling, I'm like, what's the, like, I feel like there's the answer to help explain. And I think it's the five senses. And I think that is exactly it, which would just summarize when people are like, well, I just got this service. That's great. And so I'll be like, well, five senses. So that's what I need to know
sorry, I
to
will be
be
back.
Oh,
Sorry, carry on.
oh yeah, I would just add there's a sixth sense as well, because there's a feeling and aura you get also when you meet to a client, when you see a brand. So there are six senses.
I love that. I think like we all need, all us humans who work for ourselves need to understand what makes us really great at what we do versus technology. So I really love that you added the sixth sense. I think we all can probably use that for each of our businesses. So thank you. That was great.
so let's stop on that note that there is a sixth sense. Cliff, do you want to jump in and say something here?
Well, all I was going to say is, excuse me, from a practical point of view, having done like many clients over the years and working with them, and if you've got a plumber in the local area or whatever it is, a local business, a lot of times it was sitting down and talking to them and finding out what it is that they really enjoy to do and what the customers have fed back to them. And it was through the interview. You can't do this for AI, I don't think, but a personal interview with a person, picking out those little gems and then highlighting those things on the site. Because a lot of times you get a successful roofer, like I had a client, very successful roofer. There are certain things he really did well. And from me talking to him, understanding his business, and having had a couple of roofs replaced, I can tell you, this guy was particular about cleaning up afterwards. If you've ever had a roof reshingled, a lot of times the nails, the stuff everywhere. This guy was really particular. So we put a whole bunch of stuff about that, how everything is cleaned up perfect. None of the other roofing companies sort of really went into any detail about this. And that brought him in, I mean, over the years, several new clients just based on that. I did several sites from over about 10 years. So there are certain little gems you get when you have a human being and someone's interested in how the marketing aspect of it works. It's going to pay dividends. And there was an old joke in multi-level marketing. You go and you see these people in multi-level marketing, they have a lot of money, and you go and sign up. And the joke was you sign up and go home and look for the check. Well, that doesn't work. It's like having a website. There's so many websites for people. And they'd have a website up and they think that's it. They've got a website up, it looks pretty, and that's going to bring a business. That's not going to bring a business at all. I mean, you can drive people to that website, and then that website's got to work for them. But there's a lot of aspects go behind it. So that's why I think that it's going to be a while before AI is going to pick that up. But it depends on the kind of site you've got. If you're just reselling certain products and just moving those through drop shipping, then you can probably do the whole thing through AI. I don't know. What do you think, Sadiq? Having done so many clients as well.
All right, so let's pause on that for a moment. Mona will be right back to answer questions that you don't want to be recorded.